Welcome to Salad with a Side of Fries. I'm your host, Jen Trepic, talking wellness and weight loss for real life. We're here to clear up the myths, misinformation, bad science, and marketing to teach you how to eat and how to cheat. Are you ready? I'm having salad with a side of fries. This week, we're talking about PBfit. So, need to start this. Shout out to Tarina. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. You sent an email requesting a nutrition nugget on PBfit. So thank you. Here you go. This is for you and everybody else who's a peanut butter lover like me. But I love hearing from you guys. So please keep sending in your requests. So anyway, if you're unfamiliar with PBfit, it's this powdered peanut butter that's marketed to us as healthier. And it's used in a lot of healthier recipes. Like I see people all over social media using it in recipes. So we're going to take a quick look and walk through all the elements to see where we land on this. I do just want to point out before we start this, what we're doing here is actually the process that I do for everything. And I'm not the only one. You can do this, right? So pay attention to sort of how we're going through it. It's the same logic and thought process that you can use as you go through the grocery store. Okay. So the first thing is we're going to look at the label, right? The nutrition facts and then the ingredients. And then we're going to think about the pros and cons. All right. So I went to the PBfit website and I looked at their original PBfit powder. So a serving size is 2 tablespoons. You take 2 tablespoons of the powder with 1.5 tablespoons of water and you mix it together. It has 70 calories, 2 grams of fat, of which it's 0 saturated fat and 0 grams of trans fat. There's 150 milligrams of sodium, and I'm only mentioning that because we're going to come back to it. On the carb front, it's 5 grams of total carbs with 3 grams of fiber and 2 grams of sugar, of which it is 2 grams of added sugar, and then 8 grams of protein. So protein, let's put it in perspective, 7 grams on a nutrition label is about 1 ounce of a cooked meat. So 8 grams, so this is about 1 ounce of protein, 3 grams of fiber, a net carb of 2, right? The total carbs minus the fiber, minus sugar, alcohols, or glycerin, which aren't listed here. So 5 minus 3 fibers, 2, right? The total fat is 2. And so this sort of checks out as far as the thing that we're looking for. You know, in an ideal world, does it have more protein? Or are we looking for more protein? Yes. In an ideal world, are we looking for more fiber? Yes. But we can add this to something else, right? I think we would argue that this isn't the only thing we're eating at a time, right? Then we get to the ingredients. We have peanut flour, coconut palm sugar, and salt. I see your face. What are you reacting to?
That's it?
Yeah. But the coconut palm sugar is basically, it's a little bit lower glycemic, a little bit than table sugar, but not that much. And it's added in there. Like I kind of wish they had one. Like if I just get a natural peanut butter, right, where the only ingredients are peanuts or maybe peanuts and salt.
Peanuts and salt.
That's what I'm going to choose, right? So here's the thing. Every version, every flavor, every variety of anything requires us to read the label. They have a bunch of options of powdered peanut butter. So take a look. Right, just because this was the original one that I looked at, but there are some others on their site or in your store. Read each one, right? Do this process with each one. Now, I did see on their website that they now have an actual peanut butter and an actual almond butter that are not powdered. So I looked at the peanut butter one. So that one is same serving size of 2 tablespoons. It's already in, so we don't have to reconstitute it, right? It's already in a spread form. So it's 180 calories in the 2 tablespoons, 14 grams of total fat, same 150 milligrams of sodium. Oh, I should say on the fat. So 14 grams of total fat, 2.5 grams of saturated fat, 0 grams of trans fat. Total carbs are 7, 2 grams of fiber, 3 grams of sugar. The added sugar is 2 grams, and the protein is 10 grams. Here are the ingredients on this one. Roasted peanuts, pea protein, peanut oil, coconut palm sugar, and sea salt. So that added protein is not from the peanuts. It's because they added pea protein, number one. Number two, I do not like the peanut oil addition, and I don't like the coconut palm sugar addition, right? The sea salt is okay. It's kind of neither here nor there for me. If you're watching your sodium, definitely be aware. And so personally, for me, this is a no-go. I would rather just get the actual peanut butter that doesn't have these added ingredients. Now, I want to admit it is a little strange. Like, I thought there were going to be other things in this, because how do they turn this into a powder and then there's nothing listed in the ingredients to be any kind of preservative? So that was a little bit interesting. I'm not saying they're lying, but a lot of companies don't give us everything. So there's something there. It's not a make or break, but it's just something on my radar. And then I was also curious about how they make it into the powder, right? So essentially what they do is they take roasted peanuts and they press them to remove, as they call it, remove most of the fat and calories. So recognizing they're removing the fat, the calories they're removing are the calories from the fat, okay? Because when you remove that oil, right, that's what's coming out. The other thing that I want to point out here is that this is now inherently no longer a whole food, right? This is a processed food. Okay, back to how they make it. So they press the peanuts and then grind the peanuts into a flour. And then they mix in the coconut palm sugar and the salt. The peanuts are from Georgia. The rest of the product is made and packaged in Linden, Utah. So fun facts you didn't need. And so again, for me personally, like, I've already nixed this because of the added sugar, but I think let's consider the pros and cons. Okay. On the pros side, fewer calories from fat than original peanut butter. I'm not a big calorie counter in general, but if you are, right, we also want to consider the quality of those calories, right? I'll come back to that in a second. I like that it's easy to cook with and easy to use in recipes. And I think maybe the best thing about it is the inherent portion control, because there's increasing levels of resistance if we want more, right? With the powdered version, because you're taking 2 tablespoons and mixing it with water. So we inherently have a portion there. And then if we wanted to go back for more, right, there's more resistance to getting more than just a single spoon going back in the tub, which can sometimes be the case with, a typical peanut butter. You're nodding.
Yeah, I understand. Right.
Okay. On the con side, as I mentioned, this is not a whole real food. I don't like personally the added sugar and the salt, Now, I will say, if you're sticking to one serving, it's not a significant source of added sugar, right? It's probably, of all the things that we're having, it's probably not making or breaking, but it can keep us addicted to that sweet taste. And then because the fat's removed, we want to make sure that we're balancing the nutrition in what we're adding it to. I did see online that there's a version called PBfit Pure Peanut that has no added sugar or salt. It's just the peanut flour. So, I'm more interested in that one, but it's curious to me because their website says that this one does not mix into a creamy spread like PBfit Original. But that doesn't add up to me, because if the only other things that are added are the sugar and the salt, how does it not mix up the same? So what are you not telling me? Because this doesn't make any sense. But whatever. I don't totally love their fat removal process, because it's eliminating potentially health benefits or the elements from the nut, right? So research shows us that regularly consuming peanuts does not contribute to weight gain. The nutritional profile of fat, which many people are afraid of, can actually increase satisfaction and fullness, right? Which then supports not overeating, right? Some research says, and I'm going to quote this, naturally decreases calorie intake from other food throughout the day, right? That's what it say, right? If we're satisfied because we're getting this nutrient that we're getting this quality fat that we need. And remember too, the fat in peanuts is mostly unsaturated fat, which is generally considered beneficial for health, right? So the kind of fat is called oleic acid. And there are studies that show that it may help lower blood pressure, decrease inflammation, or reduce the risk of heart disease. So without fat in our nutrition, we are also at risk of deficiency in fat-soluble vitamins. So A, D, E, and K are fat-soluble vitamins. We need fat in our nutrition. Last thing I'll say is, again, on the preservatives and things that are possibly missing from this label, right? It's possible. I don't know. But it's the case with any packaged food. But there's something that doesn't add up to me on it. So, all in, where do we land on PBfit, right? I would read the label of the one that you're considering. Most of them have this added sugar, the coconut palm sugar, right? Which, like I said, isn't really all that different than table sugar in a lot of ways. The added protein is coming from pea protein powder. So you decide if that works for you. But I think just don't be fooled. It's not more protein in the peanut, right? And recognize that the fat naturally occurring in peanuts is removed.
So when would you use PBfit?
Great question. I think it's great. Like, it's easy to add to smoothies or oatmeal, right? I think it's easier, especially if you want to sort of know how much you're having. I think it's a great addition if you're making like a sauce. Like, you could use the PBfit and like soy sauce, maybe a little bit of sesame oil and like chili, and you could make sort of like a Asian-y like peanut sauce. Some people sprinkle it on popcorn. And then of course, like you can, reconstitute it, add some water and make it into something that's more like actual peanut butter. And if you're challenged by portion sizes around peanut butter, then this may help you. But I'll tell you, for me personally, just switching to a natural peanut butter that wasn't sweetened made it infinitely easier to manage my quantity.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think? Any other questions? Anything to add?
No, I'm good. I think that it's so important to understand when it's good to use and when it's not good to use. I mean, it's really helpful in that regard.
Yeah. And it might be an amazing tool for you. Just because I may not choose it doesn't take away the tool that it is for you, right? That's the beauty of this. Everybody gets to decide for themselves. All right. As always, everybody, I'm your host, Jen Trepeck. Connect with me on Instagram or really all social media. I am at Jen Trepeck, JENNTREPECK. Website is asaladwithasideoffries.com. So website is where you're going to find the merch. Go check all that out. And on the website or social media, feel free, send a message, whatever platform works for you. I want to hear your ideas, your takeaways, any questions you're having. Mom, thank you again for being here.
It's always just a blast for me. Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely. And of course, everybody, if you are not already a member, join our membership program by going to glow.fm/saladwithasideoffries to show your support for this podcast, this community, and your health. You'll get this week's recipes for the chickpea chopped salad and 10% off Salad with a Side of Fries merchandise.
Well, friends, that's it for today's episode of Salad with a Side of Fries. Congratulations for making yourself and your health a priority. Thanks so much for joining us. Be sure to click subscribe or follow on your favorite podcast platform. Share us with a friend, and we'll be back next week. Always remember, you deserve it, and you are worth it. Happy healthy.